I thought I would give everybody a little tour of my house in 7 Days to Die. So my real house that I live in looks quite a bit like this. Well, not really, but yeah. And so, take you for on a tour here. Let me show you. So come on inside. That is where the guest book is. Be sure and sign it on your way out. This is the steampunk room. There's a chest over here that looks quite different. Everything looks quite different. This is actually a box that's up on the wall. It's got a bunch of wooden gears. Very steampunk-ish. Makes some noise. There's actually a grandfather clock here. I don't have that in here. This is a switchboard. There are actually two mannequins that usually stand here, but I haven't figured out how to put those in there or make them, what can I use to make it look good. I don't want to put a zombie in here because that would destroy the place. This is a cabinet where all the memorabilia from our wedding is. This is a wine press. That couch is not as impressive as the one in real life. Neither is that table. This is where my dad's table or his desk is from his old work. A big, really beautiful wooden desk. There's actually some really cool stuff here on the wall, some old telephones and stuff like that. Let's see, take you over here. The bathroom, this is an apothecary blacksmith shop. And this is about as dirty dungeon looking as I can get. But these shelves over here, they normally would have a bunch of bottles, like old dusty bottles and stuff like that. But yeah, that doesn't look as good as the real house. Alright, go down the hallway here. And this is where the recording studio is and where the Afternight server is. There's a mixing board over here. Underneath this table right here is where the Afternight server is. A bunch of CDs on the wall over there. It's a bookcase. Best I could do. This is a room that represents the African safari. And there's actually a bunk bed in here, obviously. Really cool little nook up there you can put stuff in. This is it's actually a sewing machine and some other tables and stuff like that are in here in a closet, of course. Alright. Then I've got the master bedroom, and there's a closet over there. That's Heather's closet. In fact, that's Heather's closet. I got a little few things in there, but this is my closet over here. And let's see. So this is, normally this is all Morocco. The theme is Morocco. There's some hanging lamps in here. Maybe I could put one in here. This room is Egypt. And if you saw it in real life, you'd see a bunch of Egyptian stuff. And eventually the plan is to make the walls look like a sarcophagus, putting all the etchings on the wall, or the hieroglyphs, I should say. Out here, this is the deck, where, well, it's just a deck. Looks pretty close to what it looks like in real life. In fact, there are 4-foot overhangs in the house. There's a shorter one here. I think these are 2 foot, and then there are 4-foot overhangs over here. Walk down here, and this is where the pond is. There's actually 2 ponds. They're linked together. The top one is a little higher. I couldn't do it exactly the way it should be. It should be a little bit higher, and there's water that flows out of this area right here. It gets actually pumped in. There's a pump there at the bottom, and it pumps underground. Comes out of there. In real life, we do not have a lake. It goes back, and we've got 11 full-size oak trees on the property, but I liked it near a lake. Heather wanted it to be near a lake in our house, but we didn't get that. Instead, we got a little pond. Let's see. Then over here, we've got the medieval room. This is, now this looks nothing like it. It's so absolutely beautiful. I don't have a chandelier in here yet in the real life, but put something up that looks kind of medieval. There's a closet over there. That is supposed to be a dragon's head that's mounted up on the wall, like I killed him. This cabinet is absolutely beautiful, along with the table that I would never be standing on in real life. There are a bunch of like ships up there, and when they're backlit, they are absolutely beautiful. This room is normally lit up in red, and those ships are backlit, and they're silhouettes. They're really beautiful. Alright, so come down here. This is our 70s kitchen. Not much to say about it. Lots of windows. Here is the underwater room. I'm in here right now. In fact, I'm over at this seat right here. I'm sitting here, and there are 2 monitors, but we've got a couch. It's actually a nice round, it's got some real curvy stuff to it, and this right here is a Fun for 4 is what they call it. It's actually a big touchscreen. It's a 42-inch touchscreen arcade game that Heather loves. And so it's up here in her room. This is her room because she designed this underwater. It's actually got projectors. I've got projectors that are down here and down here that project the look of it like it's underwater. The ceilings in the house aren't really this tall. They're tall. I mean, it's all cathedral ceilings, but they're not this tall. And the reason why I had to go with this is because in 7 Days to Die, you only had blocks that had this angle, so they had to meet kind of up there. Let's see. So let's go in the garage. Garage is a lot more full worth of junk. That's where we put our garbage. 2 cars could not fit in here. We've only got 1 in here. I've got my Roadsters in here, and we're trying to sell that one. Got a few refrigerators. There's actually a Snapple refrigerator in here right about there, and there is a ladder I want to put in there. We don't have one yet, but you can actually go up top, and I've got some storage up here. So, alright, let's go close that, and we'll go head downstairs to the arcade. And this is a replica of Mother's Arcade. Mother's Arcade was an arcade that I had grown up around. And so I started doing the design sort of like that. Mother's, like the front door was over here, let's say, and when you came in, there were pinball machines to the left, and there were these machines on the right that you had right before a doorway that went into a bigger section. But Tutankhamun was right about here compared to the door, and that was one of my favorites. In fact, there was a Gorgar and a Williams Flash and Williams Gorgar right next to each other in this order, right about here compared to where Tutankhamun was. So, anyway, that's my tribute to Mother's and its design. But the other games I have in here, vector games, and you'd have to look up vector to understand that, but there's Space Duel, Omega Race, those are both vector games. Elevator Action is not, but is my sister's favorite game, at least while we were growing up, and I had bought it for her, and she gave it back to me. She didn't have enough space over at her house. I wanted it. I like it, and she could play it when she comes over. Asteroids, which is another vector machine. I've got an Atari 2600 down here. Now, the TV is absolutely beautiful. It's from 1975, and I've got 3 different consoles down here in the ground normally. You would see a ColecoVision, an Atari 2600 in the center. Actually, it's 7800 in the center, and then a Intellivision over here. The reason why I went with the 7800 Atari rather than the 2600, which everybody's familiar with, is because it plays both the 2600 cartridges and the 7800, which are a little bit better. This is Paris, Heather's theme. She loves Paris, and so we brought a little piece of it back here. There's a picture of the Mona Lisa back here. Let's see, this is the laundry room. There's a stove over here we probably should get rid of. I didn't find I should probably look better for washers and dryers. I don't think they're in the game, but I couldn't find any, so got 2 air conditioners down here. This is another one of our furnaces, 2 of the furnaces. Let's see, go over here. There's a fireplace over here. This is a touchscreen jukebox. It's another 42-inch screen, touchscreen. It plays music throughout the basement. Different games I got over here. Vindicators, that's a co-op game, it's really cool. Dragon's Lair, Laserdisc game, love that. That's actually got some really cool footage from the cutting room floor. It's actually redone, so it's got footage most people aren't normally playing in the game or didn't even see. Space Wars is a vector game, love that one. Space Encounters, just an old, I love this game. It's weird talking about games when you don't really see them. Black Widow vector game, color vector. It's actually over here in the corner. It fit better in here in this model. Rip-Off, Vector Beam Warrior, and Armor Attack are all vector games made by Tim Skelly. Tim Skelly's a game designer. I love his work, and so I put his games all together. I wish I had more of his games. This right here is a slot machine. There's a closet with a bunch of games in there. You can see that there is right here a theater entrance along with theater tickets. I have not built the theater down here. However, in this game, I've built what approximately is what the theater is going to look like. So this is another one of our furnaces for the house, hot water tank, obviously, and then 3 rows of chairs. I figure that's enough, and then a big screen. Let's see, go down here. And this over here is the Cubs bathroom. This is one of Heather's themes. She loves the Chicago Cubs, and we've got that. And if you were to lift up the lid on there, you'd see actually the Sox logo. So there's a little bit of hate thing going on there. It's just as a joke. Sorry for you Sox fans. This is my tool room. I have all my tools in here. My workbench is pretty much over here. It's a little larger. I don't have a cement mixer in my house, but I put one in there. Lots of storage over here. and some more workbenches that I work on things with. And out here, the reason why we picked up the house was to make it easier to be able to get my arcade games in. So when you're outside like this, look at this. It's got a ramp going right into the basement, and the arcade games get pushed right in. So this was an easy way to be able to get them in there. Normally, whenever I bring them in, you'd think I'd bring them that way, but I can't really. There's a lot of stuff in the way, even though there's land over here. There's a lot of stuff in the way, so I ended up taking it around here. Seems like it's a bigger, a better way of doing it. There's a slight path around here. I haven't even built the path yet. This is a beautiful tree in real life, and it kind of looks like that it leans really weird like that. I think it's a little closer to the house too. And there's some bushes. I should probably do the bushes that are all in here. There are a bunch of bushes that are in the way. But when I get an arcade machine, I have them park in the driveway over there, and we, well, put it on a dolly and wheel it across here. And I found it's easiest to wheel it down this hill. Now, this hill is a lot more, it's not as steep right here. It actually goes gradually down. Comes around here, and then you just come on here and go right in the basement. So, that's pretty much the house. I'll get you a view of it from up here. So it's just got this beautiful look to it. And, well, we call it home.